Hello children, welcome back. I hope you all are fit and fine and enjoyed your holidays. Today we are going to start with lesson number 5 of your reader book. The name of the lesson is India at Play. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy is an old saying. Children, you all know that games are very important in our life. Games have also a social value. They teach us many lessons like discipline, team spirit, obedience, punctuality, patience, etc. So in this chapter, we are going to read about these games and their origin. But before we start our lesson, let's read a very important thing given in your book. Games have been a part of life in India since immemorial. Immemorial here means for a long time. For so many years back, when the games started. So these games have been a part of life for so many years back. Many games have originated in India. Means some of the games they started here only in India for the first time. And some are being reinvented today. So many efforts, the government is doing efforts to revive those games. The Pro Kabaddi League has brought Kabaddi out of the shadows. Out of the shadows here means that it was in a position of being unnoticed. The Pro Kabaddi League has brought Kabaddi out of the shadows, while the Indian Premier League has doubled the enthusiasm for cricket. So gradually the people they started forgetting, the new generation started forgetting about these games. Now again the government has made effort to revive these games, and the new generation also come to know about these games and the rules. The efforts are being made by the government and the people, those who love games. The sporting scene in India is vibrant today as we experiment with the old and create new and exciting possibilities. So children, the sporting scene in India is vibrant today, means it's full of energy and life. So the efforts are being made to promote these games so that the children they come to know about these games. So let's begin our chapter. When we think of games, sports like cricket, football and tennis come to mind. We rarely think of games such as kabaddi, gilli danda and kit-kit. So children, when we talk about games, the very first thing that comes in our mind is cricket, football and tennis. And we have never thought of games such as gilli danda and kit-kit or kabaddi. Though they have been with us for centuries and played enthusiastically in almost every village and city of India. So earlier in villages and in cities also, people used to play these games. But today, gradually, we have started forgetting about these games. Children, gilli danda is an Indian game in which players they try to strike a small stick called the gilli with a longer stick called danta. And kit kit. Kit kit is a game. It's a game of balancing and aiming in which a player has to hop on one leg from one end of the grid to the another. So, what are these games? Where do they come from? And what do they mean to us? Let's read on. In the history of humankind, sports has always played an important role both as a source of amusement and a means of keeping the mind and body fit. So, children, games, right from the beginning, they have it is very important for us, and it is a source of amusement, means entertainment, or you can say pleasure, and it also keeps our mind and body fit. It makes us strong, keeps our body fit. In ancient India, as with many ancient civilizations, it was not enough to gain knowledge. The health and fitness of one's body was equally important. So, children, only knowledge was not important, it was not enough. One's body and fitness was also very important, it was equally given importance. So, long before India had embraced cricket and football, games such as kite flying, kabaddi, and kho, to name a few, were played both by kings and commoners. So, before India has accepted willingly these games such as cricket and football, the games like kite flying, kabaddi, and kho, they were played in India both by kings and commoners, means by the common people also. They also used to play these games. These games do not boast of having sports stars like Sachin Tendulkar or MC Mary Kom, but they are immensely popular even today. So, games like cricket and boxing, you can say, one of the players named here, Mary Kom, she is one of the famous player of boxing, and Sachin Tendulkar is one of the famous cricket player. So these games do not boast of having sports stars. It is not important that it is a talk with excessive pride about one's achievement, that players like Sachin Tendulkar and Mary Kom are there in these games, so these games are given importance. But they are immensely popular even today. Immensely means extremely. Interestingly, the earliest forms of some of these games existed even before the Mahabharata was written. So the very interesting thing about this, that these games existed, used to be played even before the epic Mahabharata was written. Kho is one such example. So one of the examples of such games is Kho, a game of great agility and alertness. In ancient times, it was played on raths or chariots and was known as Rathera. So Kho is one of the game in which person's alertness and swiftness is very important. How the person is alert to play these games, such games. In ancient times, it was played on rath or chariot. You know that chariot, it is a two-wheeled vehicle drawn by horses, and it was used in racing and warfare in ancient times. So it was played on rath, and such a game was known as Rathera. In its modern version, a chaser from one team tries to touch an opponent from the other team to get them out. The chaser may pass his or her task to a teammate sitting on the central line made on a rectangular field by touching the teammate's back and shouting "Ko." The team that takes the shortest time to dismiss its rivals wins. So this is played in such a way. So you are aware about this game, that in Kho there is one central line, one team is sitting in that central line and the other opponent team is, the players from the other team, they will run and you have to chase a person, a person who pursues someone. So you have to chase to your teammate sitting in the central line, and when you will touch the opponent, your rival, shouting, then the shortest time taken to dismiss your rivals, means opponent, that team wins. So another game of touching and dismissing opponents is Kabaddi. It is said to have originated from the Mahabharata incident of Abhimanyu getting trapped in a chakravyuh created by his enemies. You must have heard or seen in your TV also the epic Mahabharata, in which Abhimanyu, who was trapped in a chakravyuh made by his enemies.